Welcome to the 41st episode of the MC Knitting Adventures podcast. My name's Colleen.
And my name is May. Welcome to the returning viewers, and for those of you watching us for the first time, we're glad you can join us. Today our trip takes us to Newaygo, Michigan, which was an amazing trip. It was part of our 3,000 kilometer journey in Michigan, which was amazing. But before we begin to talk about our trip, Colleen will talk about what we are wearing.
So first of all, let's talk about what May's wearing. She's wearing a cowl, and it is the Agent 99 cowl, and that was designed by Donna Mawer of the Codependent Knitters. And I've made a number of these, and the pattern is brilliant. It's really, really nice. What I used was Shawl in a Ball by Lion Brand, and this has a lot of yardage in it. It has 518 yards in the ball, which is a lot. And what's nice, if you shorten it up, you can get a number of these out of this Shawl in a Ball. And the neat thing is the colors change so much that they actually look like different cowls, like you've gone to a different ball, but that is perfectly your color.
Feels wonderful.
That's
Love it.
Good.
Now, I didn't realize it was called Agent 99. This is the first I've heard of that. No wonder I've had the urge to kick off my shoe and talk on the phone.
Yes.
That explains everything.
It does. It does. Anyway, you look great in it, so that's good. And so what I'm wearing comes from the Comfy Cozy Trio by Cozy Up Knits. And this is designed to use with mini skeins. And then one full skein. So the main skein I used was Cascade Heritage sock yarn, and that's just in a cream color. And then the blues, and there are different, I know it's hard to tell, but they come from a set of Julie Asselin Fino, and it was nice to use. I'd used it before, put it in a shawl, didn't like the shawl, ripped it out. Sometimes you think, am I ever going to use that stuff again? And then this pattern came up and I thought it was time.
Isn't it cool that you can rip something out and then wear something that you really enjoy?
I know. I really like it.
Great. I'm glad you did that.
And it's nice. It's comfy and cozy, just like the pattern says. And it's really cold in Ontario today, and so it is making my life much warmer, which is fantastic. Now, we have some exciting news.
We do.
We do. Mm-hmm. We do.
Oh,
we really do.
We're not going to talk about this?
No, not yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But our exciting news has to do with the fact that we've reached 600 subscribers. We're actually over 600 subscribers.
So thank you.
Yes, exactly. So if you like what we're doing, subscribe. It makes us happy. So what we are going to do is do a giveaway. And because of this pattern, the Comfy Cozy Trio, and you need mini skeins, we're going to give away some mini skeins. So we're going to do it in two separate giveaways. So I want you to comment below, and then we're going to take all those comments, and then we're going to do random number generator, and we'll figure that out. But it's going to be two different sets. So when you comment, what I want you to do is say, oh, I'd really like to win these, or I'd really like to win these. So I'm going to call them two different things. So these ones will be called the brights. So there's a bright blue and a bright green and a bright pink. So if you want to win the brights, then in your comments say, I want to win the brights. Yes, so they're beautiful. This is from Yarn Indulgences, and it feels really nice. The yarn feels beautiful. So that's the first possible gift. The second one, because we are at 600 subscribers, I'm going to call the greens. So if you take a look at that, these would go very nicely together. So this is green, this is more cream, and then this one's kind of got a few different colors in it. So we're going to call those the greens. So if you'd like to win that set, then comment below and say, I'd like to win the greens. And if you say, it doesn't matter to me, I just want to win a prize, you can put that in your comment below as well. And then we're going to pick that random number generator, and then we will.
I'm so happy. Colleen is giving up some of her stash. This makes me happy.
Well, I either use it or I'm going to give it. And I'm happy to give these away. I think it's a neat way to combine them, and they can make whatever you want out of them.
Well, I hope you win those.
Exactly. So like us, subscribe, comment down below, and you could win some of those mini skeins. So that's what we're wearing. That's our giveaway. And now we're going to talk about finished objects. My first finished object is a Christmas gift. So the person it's for, I don't think watches the podcast, but it is a simple, bulky, messy bun or ponytail beanie.
They probably do watch the podcast in private.
Maybe. So surprise. Here we go. And I made it out of Charisma Tweed. And this is loops and threads. You can get it from Michael's. And here it is. And this one has all different colors
Love
in
it.
it.
So soft.
It is so nice and soft, and it's tweedy, which I really, really like. And then
I'll just do that for you.
there you go. And then there's the hole that you can put your ponytail through. Neither of us have a ponytail to put through, but I really like how that came out.
Yeah, very nice.
It's nice to be able to knit something like that, and it's bulky. So if you're still thinking about Christmas knitting, and you can get some bulky yarn, that will knit up very quick.
Easy knit.
It's
quick,
a very easy knit and quick.
And it looks nice.
Oh, good.
Nice.
All right, so that's my first finished object. My second finished object is my Moondust. And there's the pattern. And that's by Kay F Jones from the Bakery Bears. And I chose Cascade yarns 128 Superwash Merino. And oh my goodness, this yarn is brilliant. And this pattern is great. So I made one for you, and you liked it so much I decided to make one for me. So there's my big purple button. Hard to find a big purple button, but I did. And then there is that
Do you want to try and put it on me? Do you want to try
Sure,
that?
I can do that. So you can
And then
see
you
it.
can have an idea, because I never know how to put this on when I get it.
There we go.
But,
so this comes around,
and then,
and then the button gets done up.
here,
Perfect.
here,
Yes, very nice.
and then goes like that.
There you go.
And then this
Lays flat like
like
that.
that, and then it goes underneath your coat, and voila,
And you, the other day, it was a little cool, and you were wearing yours, and you found it
very warm.
very
It
nice
was
and warm.
really nice.
Exactly.
It covers my neck, covers this without all the bulk of a scarf.
Exactly.
So,
So once
yeah.
again, bulky yarn, if you have any Christmas knitting. And I decided that I would put some tassels on mine.
Yeah, I
Is it-
don't have these tassels, which I'm okay with that. But
Right.
you like the tassels, and
Yep.
you know it's whatever your preference is.
Exactly.
I guess, you know.
And if May changes her mind and wants tassels, then we can make them.
How
up.
hard were these to make?
You know what? Kay F Jones from the Bakery Bears has a tutorial for making tassels. There's lots of them on YouTube, but I liked her tutorial and they were easy to make, and I had lots of yarn left to do that.
It's beautiful.
It looks really nice
It's a
on
little
you.
warm.
But you're not having it.
It's
guess
your
what color?
color.
It's purple.
It's purple.
That's for sure. So I'm really, really happy with
Yeah,
that.
that's lovely.
All right. All right, we're going to talk about another Christmas knit, and this is the Ever After Cowl by Maree Buscke. There it is. It's another easy knit. This is a free pattern, if I recall properly. And this is made with, just let me get the yarn tag, Caron and Pantone bamboo. And it is lovely, and it's a lovely icy blue. And so I've made one for the mums, one for my mum, one for May's mum. And it is really silky. So if you're thinking about doing this and using this yarn, it's lovely yarn to work with, but it's a little slippy. So if you've got bamboo needles or wood needles, it wouldn't be a bad idea.
Which way do you wear it? Do you wear it this way with the, or do you wear it this way, or does it matter?
You know what? It doesn't matter at all.
Oh, okay.
You
So
can wear it
don't have to be
whatever way
too
you want.
particular.
That's
Perfect.
right.
Right, it turned out nice. It is very, even me holding this is slippery.
It is. It's silky, that's
Yeah,
for sure.
silky.
So anyway, so hopefully they'll enjoy that.
Yes.
So that's that. And then the last one is the Trendy Vest by Maxim. And it is made with Trendy Baby. And it is a DK, and it's antibacterial and anti-pill. And
It is
oh
so
my
cute. Oh my gosh, I love that stitch down here.
I know,
What's
it's
going on
beautiful.
here?
I don't know. They call it, let me see if I can see in the pattern what they call it. It's paid for pattern, but I can tell you what it's called. They call it the bee stitch.
Well, it makes sense because it looks like a beehive.
It does look like a beehive, and I'm thinking that would make
That's
a great
gorgeous.
cowl at some
I'm
point
thinking
in
the
time.
same thing. And I love this little bow.
So the neat thing about the bow, if you'll just hold that,
Yeah, sure.
is that you make the bow, and then behind the bow you sew a button. So it holds the button, it holds the bow in place and the button in place, and then you go from front to back to do it up. And so it looks like the bow is what's doing it up, but there's actually a button behind it.
Cool. Now, the thing I like about this is the arms. You know how you get a sweater on a child and the arms, like, you know, you're trying to, you know,
Exactly.
we've all been there trying to get a sweater on a
That's
child.
exactly right.
This I'm thinking, wow, would that not be easy just to slip the little arm in that
Exactly.
like large space?
Exactly. So as we've
Perfect.
mentioned, we're kind of the vintage that people we know are either having babies or people we know are having grandbabies. And so I'm just loving to knit some wee things and tuck them away. And then when they say it's a boy or it's a girl or the baby's coming, then we can go from there.
Perfect.
So those are my finished objects. And so May, finished objects for you?
Well, of course, we're going to talk about the painting. It's going to be up for our Michigan tour, and this is exactly what we saw on our tour. Now, we couldn't really stop and take a lot of pictures because the highway, as you can see, you know, there's railings and it's not really
Right.
safe. So what I thought I'd do is draw, paint what we saw. So this is my finished object
it's
that's
great.
going to be there for the duration of our Michigan trip.
Which is a great idea.
Yes, and the next finished object I'm excited about too is bracelet that we made, and it's Colleen went on and found out on YouTube, or I don't know where you found this out, but you take an old belt because we go to the Goodwills and different places because I have a store and my little objects and stuff.
Yeah.
And so this gives Colleen a little project too. To
It
find
does.
old belts,
Right.
old good leather belts.
Right.
And what we do is we bring them home, and we can make bracelets and or the
It's called a shawl cuff.
shawl cuffs. Now, Colleen's bought some shawl cuffs, leather shawl cuffs, which, you know, they range from anywhere from $25 to $35.
Yes, they do.
And we can buy a belt at the Goodwill for
$3 to $5.
$3 to $5. And we cut up the belt, and you could probably get, I don't know, 4 or 5 of these out of here.
Depends on how big the belt is.
And you can wear a shawl. You can make it small enough for a shawl cuff.
Yep.
Or I like to wear, because I don't wear a shawl cuff, we put this little thing on there.
It looks really nice on you.
wear,
It suits
as a
you. It
bracelet,
really
yeah.
does.
So I just think that's great that to take something that reuse things at a great
Recycle
price.
things, it's great.
Recycle, and I think you can make those cuffs for, if you want to do that at home too, you
Right.
can make those cuffs for like $5 probably.
Exactly.
So by the time you buy the little thing and
Snaps.
the
Exactly.
So
So
you didn't bring any cuffs to show?
no, but maybe next time I will do.
Okay, that's perfect.
Okay. Because we've got thinner belts and thicker belts, and you can make them smaller. I tend to use 2 skeins for a shawl, and so something this big would be too big.
But you can make this any size you want. That's
Exactly.
the beauty of it. The beauty
Exactly.
of this is you can make it tiny or big or whatever, or
Exactly.
thicker or
Yeah.
whatever belt you have. And when we make some, we'll have the variety out, and we'll show you different ones.
That's a great idea. I like that.
All right.
So those are our finished objects, and next we're going to talk about works in progress. My first work in progress is called the Cruces Cowl, and that's by Hilary Smith Callis. And there's what the picture looks like. And it's a paid-for pattern, but it's a brilliant pattern. So if you're thinking about making it, it starts with a provisional cast on, and then you knit from one end to the other, and then you're going to join it with Kitchener stitch. So I'm going to have you open it up. Now,
Yes.
we're going to talk about the importance of blocking. So I started it, and then I did some color work, which I'm really happy with. That my class by Kate Atherley helped a lot. And then I knit plain. So this is kind of double layered, and this is single layered. And what happened was this, because of the color work, was a little narrower. You can see it over on
Right
this
here.
side right there. So what I thought was, okay, I will rip this out if I need to, and I'll use a different size needle. I was going to do that here, but I'd already knit some, and I didn't know how it was going to go. So what I did, and you can kind of see it from this point to this point, is I blocked it. And you can see that
The
there
difference.
isn't the difference in it, right?
Right. This is bigger.
Exactly. So
Difference.
I am really happy with that, and I will
Block this side now.
block that side before.
Right.
And the neat thing is I have to finish all the insides, but you'll be very proud of me. There's my floats. They look great. And I'm really, really pleased how this is coming up. It's going to be really nice and warm.
Right. It is going to be one because it's kind of doubled up and then.
Exactly. So the yarn is a mauve and silver tips by Red Sock Blue Sock yarn. It's their Superwash Sport. I was going to look for something with cashmere, but they didn't have what I needed in cashmere.
More than 20%, of course.
So anyway, but I'm really happy with
yeah,
this,
I love
and
the
I
color.
know once I do the blocking of it, it will soften up. It's beautiful. The yarn's
It is,
beautiful,
it is.
but we want it to be a little softer, a little
yeah.
bit. So that's my first work in progress. And my second work in progress is Wise Hilda's Basic Ribbed Sock. And that's a pattern by Kate Atherley. This is a free pattern, so if you're interested, that's fine. That would be great for you. It's a great pattern, lots of learning in it. And this, the yarn that I used is the Unique Sock hand-dyed self-striping matching sock kit. So it comes in two 50-gram skeins. And it is brilliant. It shows you on the side of the box how it's supposed to come out. And I am really, really happy with this. I started at the top.
I like the colors.
Yes. I started at the top and I thought, that doesn't look like the picture. So the nice thing is they're matching.
They are nice.
And so it just starts to change, and it's a gradual change, and every time you do a stripe, so those of you who have done self-striping socks, you know what's going on, because you think, oh, I just have to get to the next stripe. So you can see that the one stripe's getting darker, the other stripe is turning from gray into this lovely, it's a greeny, a bluey, a greeny, and then all of a sudden we get purple going on. So for me, this is great. That's the leg, nobody's gonna see it. There's that foot of the sock, which is my purple, and I love it very much. So I am thrilled. I've got this much left, and I probably will have quite a bit left because I have smaller feet.
Right.
So anyway, so we'll see what we can do with the leftovers.
Those little cute little heels there.
Yeah, it's a nice heel. The pattern is written really, really well, and I'm really, really happy with that.
And of course, 2 at a time.
2 at a time.
Does it tell you to do that on the box or no? Or
To
do
do
you
them
just
2 at a
choose
time? No.
that you're-
And the pattern isn't a 2 at a time pattern, but I chose to do them 2 at a time because they were already divided up.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so that's why I did that.
All right.
But I'm really happy with that.
No.
And then
Turn
the
it.
last pattern is that Michigan pattern. We're going to see a number of these, but this one comes from the very first place we went to, and which is A Piece of You. And so they had this pattern. It's called Easy Goes It by Finicky Creations. And they have this yarn, and it is called Tall Ships 2019. So Mountain Colors, there it is. They do a colorway for them every year. And the tall ships come in, and sometimes it's this. So we saw this pattern, and when you see the skein, and if you go back a couple of episodes, you'll see it. It's hard to know that this is how it would knit up. So I think you had it right, actually. Yep, you did. You did a great job. So anyway, so I've got lots left, and the nice thing is you just keep knitting until it's all done. There's some open part, there's some garter, there's some, some stocking stitch. It's just going to make this go nice and big, and it's light and it's soft, and I'm really, really happy
Was this
with
the one named after the tall ships? The tall ships?
That's the yarn, yes.
Okay.
So it is called Tall Ships 2019. It comes from a picture. It's Mountain Colors Twizzlefoot, and it's dyed especially for the A Piece of You yarn shop.
It just kind of screams tall ship, doesn't
It
it?
does, because you see the ship and the water and all that kind of thing.
Great.
So I'm really happy with this shawl.
Nice.
I'm liking it. And there's different sections, and so you're never getting bored, and I like that pattern because of that.
All right.
So those are my works in progress, and next we're going to talk about our adventure.
Our adventure today took us to Newaygo, Michigan. I don't know if I'm saying that properly, but it looks like it's how you would say it. Now, in Wikipedia, it was said it was named after an Indigenous leader, or it could have been named after an Algonquin word, which means much water. Because a lot of it, 48 square miles of it to be exact, is mostly water.
Okay.
It's 862 square miles, and 813 square miles is land, and 48 square miles is water. As you can see from the map, we drove from Saginaw, Michigan, and we drove all the way along, and then we went right up to Newaygo, as you can see.
Yeah, and there's a national park there, right?
Right, and the national park is called Manistee, and half the county of Newaygo is in Manistee, and you can see that on the map. Where all the green area is there.
Oh, that's amazing.
Now, the population there is 48,000. A lot of cottage dwellers. With all that water, you can rent kayaks and all kinds of things.
We'll have to go back and rent a kayak.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
It was beautiful little town when we were driving up that road. Like, it was gorgeous, wasn't it? Like,
Absolutely.
it was just... And I remember we took a stop. On the way, we stopped in somewhere to a garage sale. It was just a garage sale sign out in the middle of nowhere.
Right.
And it was actually trees and everything. There was this little tiny sign that says garage sale, and I went, psh. And we ended up at this property, and this lady's property looked over a lake
Oh,
that
it was
was just
beautiful.
gorgeous. And I'll put some pictures up there to show you. It was just beautiful. And so we got chatting, and it was lovely. And she said that I could take some photos. And we did buy some items at her yard sale, Dr. Seuss books and things like that, that I was able to sell later on. But anyway, that was a fun little detour of our trip.
Exactly, that's right.
Then heading along, we ended up right on the main half of the highway. There was the yarn store, which was absolutely amazing. Colleen could talk a little bit about that. But there was also a little two antique places that I went into, and they were just lovely. I think one of them, people rented little booths, so there was all different
neat.
kinds of some things there that you could purchase, which was great. Very cute community, very unique, tidy, clean. Somewhere you'd want to stop by off the highway.
Absolutely.
Even if there wasn't the yarn store, I think we would have stopped
Right.
there anyway, just because of the uniqueness of it and the cleanliness, and it was lovely. It was only a population of about 48,000 there, so it's not really heavily populated. And as I found as we went to northern Michigan, the population wasn't really dense up there, you know.
Right.
It does have 3 dams, apparently: the Cranton Dam, the Hardy Dam, and the Newaygo Dam.
Okay.
Now, the Hardy Dam is the largest earthen dam east of Mississippi. And an earthen dam is a dam that is just made up of soil material like sand and clay.
Oh, okay.
And it's just permanent, and it just stays there. And usually the water doesn't come over the crown of the dam.
Okay.
And that's what that means. But just a beautiful little place. They have Harvest Fest, small town things that they have. They have the Home and Garden. They have a trail town celebration. They have a powwow. They have a baby food festival. And the reason being,
food festival?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
And the reason being for that is that Gerber Baby Food is the largest employer there. Does baby food manufacturing there.
Wow.
Employs about 1,300 people there. So anyway, it looks like a great. I wish we could have stayed longer. The yarn store, I would like you to talk about that. I was very impressed with that yarn store because it was kind of like, you know, I saw a movie once where there was this little old tiny trailer, and you saw it from the outside. Then when you were inside, it was like, whoa! It was like pillars and this mansion. And I just found, you know, you're driving along a country road, you see yarn store, and you're not expecting to go in and see this beautiful, spacious.
It was amazing.
The people there were fantastic and couldn't do enough for us, and were more than happy that we took photos and that type of thing.
Right.
So
Thank
you. But Colleen can talk more about what they had. I have an itchy eye.
Okay, I'm just going to cough. So we're good. We're in good shape. So the store itself is called the Newaygo Yarn and Quilt Shop. And that is exactly what happens. You go in, we went in off the main road, and that heads you right into the yarn store part. And so you think, oh my gosh, it's beautiful. We looked around. They have all kinds of yarn, Barocco, Cascade, Mountain Spinners. They have notions and needles and samples. It's really well laid out. It's bright. And then you go through this
Large entranceway.
and you go into the quilting side. So there's all kinds of fabric. There's all kinds of quilting patterns. There's all kinds of things to do, things with quilting. And it was just beautiful. I could have gone around there 5 or 6 times. And the nice thing for me was that there were the antique stores beside, and so
I could go away for, I don't know, forever. And Colleen could have stayed in the yarn store forever.
Exactly. And the manager is Jody, and she was really, really helpful. And so we really had a good time taking a look at that store.
Yeah, we did. It was great.
I'd recommend it highly.
Yeah. One thing I want to mention that I've been meaning to mention on the trip. We were driving along, and I was with a colleague of mine. And I was doing all these kind of weird things to see where I was going to fill up with gas. And she says, why are you doing that? I said, so I have to remember which side my gas tank is on. Like, I have to do all these things. Oh, is it on the right hand side? You know. And so when you're going on a trip like that, you know, you're always filling up with gas. So you're always trying to do stuff like that. So my colleague says to me, she says, do you know there's a little arrow on your gas tank in your dashboard? I'm like, there is? Am I the only person in the world that didn't know that? So I said to Colleen, I don't think you knew that.
Nope. I just remembered which side it was.
Yeah. You didn't have to do all the weird things that I had to do to remember.
No.
But I thought, oh my gosh, I'm going to share that with you. You guys probably already knew that that was there, and Colleen and I were the only two in the world that didn't know that. But I'm going to share that with you now. I'm going to put a picture up. So you look at your gas tank, and there's a little arrow, and that will show you, that arrow, what side your gas tank's on. So you don't have to play the guessing game every time you go into a gas station like I was doing. I can't believe that. So simple, but it made my life so much easier when we were traveling.
Yeah.
Just to look at that little arrow. So thank you, colleague, for that. I appreciate that.
So that's our adventure, and next we're going to talk about souvenirs. My first souvenir is some yarn, because we entered and went into the yarn store. So this is some Ba yarn called La Jola, I think, or La Jola, depending on if you want to say it in a Spanish way or not. This is called Blue Winged Teal. It is superwash merino, 400 yards. It's 115 grams, and oh my goodness, it is soft. The color is
brilliant.
It is really, really nice. I like that.
I think it's my color.
No. But it's nice. I really, really liked it, and I thought it can either blend with something else, or I can make a one skein shawl, or maybe a cowl. I'll have to see what I'm going to do, but I really, really liked it. It kind of spoke to me, that color.
Yes, there's not really enough cashmere in it for me. It's not good enough.
Not good enough for you? Okay, that's good. Then it can be mine. I'm happy with that. So that was the first thing. And then when I went over into the quilting side, I fell in love with this pattern. So it's a Sweet Jane's pattern. It's Creatively Yours zipper pouch. And so I picked up the pattern. Now, they were teaching us all about jelly rolls and cakes, and there's all these different names of things in the quilting side, which I don't remember all of, but it's a whole learning experience. And I thought, sometimes when I'm sewing, I end up with little bits, and I think that would be great. And then I can put some things together. I think sometimes you can quilt as you go. And so it's called a mini charm, 2.5 square charm, and scrap friendly. So I have knitting scraps, sewing scraps all the time, and so I'm thinking that's going to work.
And now what was the name of the store again?
New You Yarn and Quilt Shop.
And I suggest that if you're ever in Newaygo, you definitely have to go there. I mean, it is off the track a little bit,
yeah,
but a definite place to drop into. Worthwhile.
Absolutely, I would make that, and I will put up a card here so you can see. And in the show notes, then I'll have all the information about that. Now, before we finish, I have one other thing that we have to show you, and it's technically not a souvenir, but it is a wee something for somebody we know. This one.
Oh,
so.
I don't even know what this is.
No, you have no
like
idea.
Christmas.
So I put it in a Christmas bag.
Really?
Yes, I did.
You've been holding this a secret forever?
Well, not forever.
Oh. Cashmere. 30. Cashmere 30?
30% cashmere.
Thank you.
So, this is just one. I have more.
Did you buy that in Newaygo?
No, I did not buy it in Newaygo.
Oh, you just.
But I wanted you to know that I took what you said to heart. I took what you, as subscribers and comment people, said to heart.
Thank
and I thought, we're going to make something for May. So this it's really, really soft. So it has, let me tell you what it is, 70% wool and 30% cashmere.
Wow.
So I've already started working on it, but May hasn't seen it.
Wow,
and I
very
think
nice.
It's a beautiful color. It'll look really, really nice on you. Your eyes will be
thank
nice.
you. I'm thanking you guys. The pressure was brilliant. So, thank you.
Absolutely.
Thanks. I appreciate that.
No
that
problem.
Nice.
So, and at Christmas time, I still have time. At Christmas time, there will be something with 30% cashmere just for you.
Well, thank you.
So we want to thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, comment down below, and now when you're commenting, we want you to do the entry into what's ever going on. So we want you to comment, let us know what you'd like to see, but also we want you to let us know
which colors
you would like. So you can say that you want the brights,
which is blue, pink, and green.
right? Or you can say that you want the greens, which is mostly cream and greens. And if you don't care which one, you just want to win a prize, then you can say, I don't care which one. And so what we'll do is do the random number generator, and then we'll see what color people want, and we'll go from there. But I really want to share these because the yarn is beautiful. And as May says, you can only have so much yarn. So I want to share the wealth, and I'm quite happy to do so. And it would be nice to do that and do a giveaway before Christmas.
Yes, and thanks for subscribing. We really appreciate that. We wouldn't have been at over 600 if it wasn't for all of you guys. So thank you so much.
So until next time,
You take care.